Grand March on my email.
Okay, here we go.
Good morning. Welcome to the 50th annual commencement of Lehman College. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2018. I am Dr. Harriet Fain, the provost, my cheering crowd, the provost and senior vice president for academic affairs. I am pleased to introduce to you the person who will be presiding over today's event. Please give a warm welcome to our host today, Professor Joseph Farah.
Thank you, Provost Fain. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the flag and colors by the New York City Police Department Color Guard Detail. The national anthem will be sung by Jeffrey Hernandez, a member of the graduating class of 2018. The Lehman College Community Band, conducted by Professor Alan Hollander of our music faculty, will accompany Mr. Hernandez. After the anthem, please remain standing for the invocation by Rabbi Linda Schreiner-Kahn of Congregation Tehillah here in the Bronx.
Good morning, everybody. It's my privilege to be before you this morning, and as I have said on these occasions before, you look awesome. An invocation means to bring in, and here's what I'd like to bring in this morning. I invite you to think over your academic journey, and to think of a moment, maybe two, that gave you a sense of, aha, now I get it. Maybe it was a professor that gave it to you. Maybe it was a member of your family. Maybe it was somebody that you were sitting next to. I invite you to think of that aha as the spur to keep you going beyond this morning. I also invite you to think about those who have taken you on this journey, because none of us, absolutely none of us, can do it alone. I invite you to see in your mind's eye all the hands and loving arms that surround you at this very moment. I invite you to take them with you on your journey wherever you may go. May it always be for a blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi Schreiner-Kahn, and thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Everybody, please be seated. Good morning, Lehman College. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning to our distinguished guests. Good morning to the families of our graduates. And good morning and congratulations to you, the class of 2018. I cannot begin to express what a tremendous honor and privilege it is to preside over today's ceremony, Lehman's 50th commencement. Today marks a new beginning. That's what commencement means. It's a beginning with an educational credential for you that will help advance yourself financially, emotionally, and personally. But it's important to realize, though, that life has many new beginnings. Maybe it's the start of a new job. Maybe it's the start of a new relationship. Maybe it's the start of a marriage or a new child. For your parents and family and loved ones, today marks a new beginning for them, one that they're hoping gets you out of their house. But if I can give you any advice, and I will keep it short, it's to keep a lookout for these new beginnings in your life. Not all of them, believe it or not, are going to be marked with these funny robes and these silly hats. But it's important that you seize every new opportunity that these new beginnings afford to you. As I mentioned, today marks Lehman's 50th commencement. 50. I'm a math guy. That's a pretty important number. I mean, if you think about it, only truly great things make it to 50 years of age. You know what else turns 50 this year? The Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag turns 50 this year. So does the beanbag chair, the lava lamp, and Hot Wheels cars. But here's a really big one. How about the delicious Big Mac? The Big Mac is 50 this year, ladies and gentlemen. So rest assured, Lehman class of 2018, you are in very good company. And speaking of good company, it is my great pleasure to introduce the president of Lehman College, Dr. Jose Luis Cruz.
Buenos días. Thank you, Professor Farah, and good morning, class of 2018. You are a most impressive class, worthy of admiration and respect. More than half of you, 55% to be exact, are first in your family to earn a college degree. And most of you had significant responsibilities outside our classrooms and labs. You held down jobs and internships. You raised children. You cared for family members. You dealt with illness. But you persisted and came to our campus, and you expanded your knowledge, deepened your perspectives, learned new skills, did labs, rehearsed performances, completed field work, pulled all-nighters, took exams, wrote papers, and found that one last elusive class you needed to graduate today. Above all, each and every one of you exhibited what I have come to learn is the drive and determination that characterizes those who strive to make their lives here in the world's greatest city, the city of New York. So let me just say that I stand in awe. I am in awe of your creativity, your strength of character, your intellectual curiosity, and your sense of purpose. A big round of applause for our class of 2018. I am also in awe of the unconditional love and support that you received from your family and friends, many of whom were able to join us here today and who deserve to be celebrated for the role they played in your success. A big round of applause for them. I am also especially in awe of the commitment, dedication, talent, and intellect of the world-class faculty who relished the opportunity of supporting you on the educational journey that brought you here this morning. A round of applause for our faculty. And I am in awe of the indefatigable staff who day in and day out do so much to sustain and enhance the work of the wonderful community of teachers, scholars, and learners that make this campus the magical place you know it to be. In fact, there are 137 staff members of Lehman College that are graduating today. Congratulations. So as I stand here before you today, across from our Student Life building and in the shadow of our old gym, I cannot help but think that I am the most fortunate man in the world, because the joy that permeates the air we breathe as we gather to celebrate this significant milestone in your lives is nothing short of spectacular. And I get to experience this moment with you and yours from a vantage point overlooking the south field of the greatest urban university in the world. This is something that I could never have imagined some 27 years ago when I sat through my own college commencement ceremony. I remember the day very well. Actually, I remember it painfully well. And I say painfully because I actually hit my head into the car door the day before the ceremony. And so there I was, sitting at graduation, wearing medieval regalia, on a hot, humid, rain-drizzled day, much like today, with a throbbing migraine and 3 stitches on my forehead. I was recently divorced, with a small child, and apprehensive about how life would unfold. But I was also hopeful and confident, as I hope you all are here today, that the degree that I earned that day would open myriad doors, leading to opportunities that I could not even imagine at the time. Opportunities like the one that brings me here before you today as the 3rd president of Lehman College of the City University of New York, an institution that in 50 years since its founding has established itself as one of our country's top vehicles of social mobility and one of our nation's fiercest advocates for social justice. And that is why I am confident that, notwithstanding any apprehension you may be experiencing today, from this day forward, you too will find your life unfolding in the most wonderful and surprising ways. As I was thinking about what to say to you today, I decided to delve deeply into our college's 50 years of commencement history for inspiration. I came across a New York Times article written in 1972 about the 1972 commencement ceremony, a special graduation because it included the first students, and we have some of them here with us today, who were admitted at Lehman upon its founding in 1968. The keynote speaker was Martha Peterson, president of Barnard College at the time. I was struck by the timeliness of the central theme of her speech, captured in her words that I repeat to you now. Welcome to an interesting and complex world. The reason I found her words to be timeless is because they made me realize that, as the narrative arc of our collective experience shows, we are forever destined to welcome our graduates into a more interesting and complex world. A realization that, given the discourse of anger, vitriol, and division that characterizes today's political debates, and the discord that is sadly present in so many of our day-to-day societal interactions, could be distressing, were it not for the fact that each new Lehman class of graduates that we welcome into this world serves to replenish our hope that better times are sure to come. And so I thought that in addition to borrowing her words and welcoming you to the interesting and complex world we have inherited, I'd also call on you to bring the knowledge you have gained, the skills you have honed, and the values you have deepened to the hard, important work of deconstructing and reconstructing this interesting and complex world, with an eye toward bridging the gap between the world as it is and the better, more inclusive world we hope it to be. For this to come to pass, we should keep in mind that the word education comes from Latin, the Latin word educo, which means I lead, I raise up. You have already proven that you have the ability to raise yourselves up. Now, as you finish your education at Lehman, it is time for you to lead others in your families and the communities you represent to become part of the fabric of change. And it is also time for you to revel in the realization that, as my mother would often say, la educación es lo único que nadie te podrá quitar. Education is the only thing no one can ever take away from you. No one can take away the education that you have earned at Lehman College. Your triumphs, your knowledge, your discussions, your friendships, the very moments that comprise the tapestry of your college career will always be with you. Never lose sight of this important reality. Beyond this, my advice to you is simply a reflection of what I have learned from you, that to live a life well lived, you just need to work hard and dream big. I, along with the rest of the Lehman College community, celebrate your success today, and we are so proud to call you one of our own. Congratulations, class of 2018, you did it!
Thank you, President Cruz, for that awesome speech. Speaking about awesome, though, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to acknowledge how awesome our campus looks today. How about a round of applause for the men and women working with buildings and grounds? They did a fantastic job. Take it from me as a now homeowner with a lawn, this is not easy to do. I'm now honored to introduce a very special guest from the City University of New York, CUNY General Counsel and Vice Chancellor for Legal Affairs, Loretta Martinez. Ms. Martinez serves as counsel to the Board of Trustees, as well as to the university, providing timely and thoughtful legal assistance and advice to university leadership and its constituent colleges. Please give a warm welcome to Vice Chancellor Loretta Martinez.
Thank you and good morning, graduates. It's a pleasure to be here to extend greetings on behalf of CUNY's Chancellor. I'm honored to be part of this important day and to convey congratulations, felicidades, mazel tov to all the graduates here today and your families. Although I'm relatively new in my role as the head lawyer for the CUNY system, I've already had the privilege of working with President Cruz, and I know that you all share my respect and admiration for his inspirational leadership of Lehman College. In addition to being fairly new to CUNY in New York, I am a resident of the Bronx like many of you. Woo, for the Bronx. I'm proud to live in this amazing community, and I am prouder still of the history and footprint that Lehman College has in the Bronx, that it has in New York, and that it has in the world. Although today marks your commencement, it's important to realize that each of you is today embarking on a lifelong journey of education, discovery, and service. I'm honored to participate today at what I hope is only your first graduation from a CUNY college and beyond. I'd like to leave you with a couple of quotes that I hope you'll ponder as you head out into the world as newly minted graduates of Lehman College who are ready to serve others. These quotes are from two Latino leaders, one that you're likely familiar with, Dolores Huerta, and another by a young man whose name I won't reveal because he is an undocumented student, but a leader nonetheless. In reflecting on diverse coalitions of people working together to bring about justice despite difficult local, state, or national conditions, Dolores Huerta has said two things. We can't let people drive wedges between us because there, in the end, is only one race, the human race. The other thing that Dolores said recently was never confuse our government with our country. My anonymous former student said, in reflecting on the term dreamer, which is so common to all of us, he said, "Don't call me a dreamer, because that means to me a person who may have lofty dreams or ideals, but doesn't necessarily accomplish them. This world is not for dreamers, but for doers who work hard to make their own dreams and those of others come true. Call me a doer." So again, on behalf of the Chancellor, congratulations to each and every one of the graduates and doers here today on your hard work and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor Martinez. How you doing out there, class of 2018? You doing all right? Well, I gotta be honest, you look good. You look real good. Our next speaker is a distinguished public servant, CUNY trustee Lorraine Cortez Vasquez. Ms. Cortez Vasquez was appointed in February 2017 as a senior advisor to Mayor Bill de Blasio. In this role, Ms. Cortez Vasquez works within the Mayor's Office of Community Affairs, Intergovernmental Affairs, and Public Engagement to expand community outreach across the city. She engages the Latino community around key issues such as criminal justice reform, economic justice, housing, and job creation. In 2007, she made history when she became the first Latina to serve as New York Secretary of State. Ms. Cortez Vasquez was appointed to the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York by Mayor Bill de Blasio in June 2016. Please join me in welcoming Trustee Lorraine Cortez Vasquez.
Buenos dias. Good morning. You really do look awesome. And every now and then you have to smile. There's a drone photographing you from above. First of all, I want to thank Lehman College President Jose Luis Cruz, the University General Counsel that you just heard from, Loretta Martinez, and your keynote speaker, Alumni Achievement Award winner and distinguished professor Andre Amen, your honorary degree recipient, Jacob Judd, and your student representative, Jonathan Beringer. Woo! Also, I want to thank and congratulate the members of the faculty, the staff, and the family and friends, everyone who made this Lehman class of 2018 possible. Give them applause. Everybody's going to tell you this is an important day of your life, and it is. It's an amazing accomplishment, but this is just the beginning. So on the part of the CUNY trustees, I want to say adelante, forward. This is a commencement, the beginning of much more. We are very, very proud of the class of 2018, but we also are very proud of Lehman College, and we want to say happy birthday, Lehman. It is 50 years of academic excellence in the beautiful Bronx, where I am from also. You're not the only one from the Bronx, Loretta. For 5 decades, Lehman has been the Bronx Express train to upward mobility. You will find that Lehman degree will not only open doors, but it will also garner you an enormous amount of respect. Be proud of your accomplishment. Be proud of joining an illustrious alumni community of 72,000 leaders who came before you, who share the remarkable legacy of this college, who have been positive change and have been an influence on the world. Class of 2018, along with your family, friends, and those who've helped you, we welcome you to a long line of leaders committed to making a difference. I encourage you to use your knowledge and your degree to make a better place, to make the world a better place. And no one knows more than us right now that we need to make this a better place. We need to go back to some of the values that have made us strong. Our world needs honest, truthful people of commitment and purpose. So I'm going to ask you, don't make the world a better place. Let's start in our own communities, in our own families. I'm going to encourage you to speak up for those who do not have a voice or who cannot speak for themselves. I'm going to ask you to serve your city, serve your neighborhood. I'm going to ask you to help fellow New Yorkers with pride and integrity. I'm also going to ask you to lift while you climb, because your success is only valuable when you share it and pay it forward. You are equipped with, yeah, that's it. If you don't pay it forward, it's very lonely at the top. You are equipped and empowered with more knowledge, skills, and innovation than any generation before you. So venture out, change the world, but by all means, first, have truth and truth and having purpose part of you. I have no doubt that each of you has talent and hopefully not a potty mouth. Passion for the change of the world. After all, you're CUNY graduates. Que Dios me lo bendiga and congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Cortez Vasquez. It is my pleasure now to invite Provost Fain back to the microphone. Associate Dean Salita Bryant of the School of Arts and Humanities will assist with the conferring of our honorary degree. May I ask Professor Emeritus Jacob Judd to join them at center stage.
Provost Fain, at this time I would like you to present the proclamation recommending Jacob Judd for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Jacob Judd, one of the college's longest-serving faculty members, for your distinguished work as a nationally recognized scholar, specializing in the American colonial period, the Revolutionary War, and the early Republic. And in recognition of your standing in the academic community, most notably for your work editing the extensive correspondence of the Van Cortlandt family and serving as program director for the Rockefeller Archives American Business History series, and for your leadership, having served as chairman of the college's Department of History for 12 years and as acting dean of the School of Arts and Humanities, for serving as an exemplary member for generations of Lehman College students and faculty. Lehman College of the City University of New York has recommended you to receive the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
In pursuance of the authority vested in me by law, and in accordance with the action of the trustees of the City University of New York, I now confer upon you, Professor Emeritus Jacob Judd, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Thank you, President Cruz, Provost Fain, and Associate Dean Bryant. Congratulations, Professor Judd. Now, this is a real pleasure. I am now pleased to introduce our and your student speaker, Mr. Jonathan Beringer. Mr. Beringer is graduating today with a Master of Science in Organizational Leadership. Obviously, we have a few graduates from that school. He represents exactly what our college and what our students, you, the class of 2018, represent. He is the reason why Lehman faculty and staff enjoy coming to work each and every day. And he will also share with you an interesting story that he has about a young man. So please, ladies and gentlemen, class of 2018, give a very warm welcome to your student speaker, Mr. Jonathan Beringer.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Beringer, and I am extremely honored to be able to represent the class of 2018 at today's commencement ceremony. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge and honor Trustee Cortez Vasquez, Vice Chancellor Martinez, President Cruz, distinguished members of the Platform Party, members of the faculty, the entire staff and administration at Lehman College, and all graduates, family, and friends. It is with much honor that we are graduating today, being that we are also celebrating the 50th commencement of Lehman College. I would like to start off with a question, and if you know the answer, feel free to yell it out after I ask the question. What do you get when you mix sugar and spice plus everything nice plus chemical X? What was that? That's right, you get the Powerpuff Girls. So today, in front of many millennials, I would like to tell you a story of a young man and the ingredients that formed this young man's life. And among the beautiful crowd of black caps and gowns and sweaty underarms, there was a student who was born and raised in the Bronx, as many of you were. His story, however, did not start off with celebration, but with a death sentence. Being born premature, he weighed 2 pounds and 11 ounces. He had little to no immune system. Doctors said he would not make it to his first birthday. And if that wasn't bad enough, just a month into living in an incubator, his mother passed away. He was never able to feel the embrace of his mother, nor would she ever be able to see him graduate. Yet thankfully, his maternal grandparents came into the picture to care for him because of this, he made it to his first birthday. Despite battling asthma attacks, many trips to the hospital, he made it to kindergarten. You may ask yourself, what happened to this boy's father? Well, before he went to prison, his father told his grandparents, when I get out of prison, I'm gonna be there for my son. And his father kept his promise, and he was there for his son. He bought him a bike, he bought him some books, and he bought him a baseball glove. But unfortunately, his father never got to play catch with him, never got to read those books with his son, and never got to ride bikes with his son, because unfortunately his father was murdered when he was only 5 years old. Because he was adopted to his maternal grandparents, this young boy was part of the court system, and therefore he was evaluated around 3rd grade. And that evaluation stated, this boy will be in need of tutoring and counseling. And to make matters worse, right before graduating elementary school, his grandfather passed away. This young boy became the man of his house at only 10 years old. These were the ingredients that form this boy's early life. Throughout middle school, he got into fights, he got suspended, and had C average grades. After middle school, he started going to a community program called REACH, and it began to change his life. He made it through high school and graduated with honors in math and science and received a full scholarship to Lehman College. As you probably have figured out by now, these are the ingredients that made up the recipe of my life. Perhaps these ingredients seem like they would result in disaster, but attending Lehman College has changed my recipe from tragedy to hope and has granted me a second chance at succeeding in life. Together today, we are celebrating a second opportunity to build better lives for ourselves, our families, for the Bronx, for society. I shared my story simply to illustrate that no matter the ingredients in your life, having a Lehman College education can change and will change your recipe. No more just surviving, you can now thrive. Each of you have made sacrifices, and each of you have overcome. That is because you are Lehman strong and you are Bronx strong. To conclude, remember that evaluation that said I would need tutoring for the rest of my life? Well, thanks to Lehman, and shout out to Sasha, Professor Boone, and the Small Business Development Center on campus, I was able to start a tutoring company during my sophomore year at Lehman College. And what about that evaluation that said that I would need counseling for the rest of my life? Well, thanks to Lehman for hiring me. Shout out to Tracy Palmieri, the Center for School and College Collaboratives, Dr. Ann Rothstein, because I became a high school counselor at the age of 24. And thanks to Lehman College, shout out to Suzette, Rosa, Janet, and the first graduating MSOL cohort. Yeah. I'm graduating today with a Master of Science in Organizational Leadership. And I say all this to say that Lehman, so thanks to Lehman and thanks to God, my recipe has changed from tragedy to hope. And I'm here to tell you all that no matter the ingredients in your life, the ingredients that have been in your life, the current ingredients in your life, or the ingredients that will come into your life, past, present, or future, remember that when life gives you lemons, what do? I think someone said become a Powerpuff Girl. That's, if you can be whatever you want to be, young man. But when life gives you lemons, you turn them into Lehman Lightning Lemonade. And the lemons in my life, that despite me not having my parents, my biological parents here today, I'm blessed to say that the lemonade in my life, my grandmother, who raised me as her own, she's here today. She's right over there. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2018. You are awesome, be awesome, and make lemonade. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing that with us. I'm a little afraid that he's going to take over my job for the rest of the ceremony now. Beginning today, all members of the class of 2018 assume a new role in the college. Unfortunately, there's still a little bit of homework attached to this role. College administrators and my colleagues in the faculty, well, we don't always agree on everything. That's saying it nicely. But there is one thing that we do agree on, and that is your job is to keep in touch. Tell us how you're doing. Send an email every once in a while. Let us know where you are in your life. And always think of Lehman. Especially when you make a little bit of money, you want to send a little bit our way, we'll gladly take that too. It is now my pleasure to welcome back to the college a Lehman alumnus who has gone on to accomplish great things, Dr. Andre Asaman, class of 1973. I invite President Cruz back to the podium. Will Dr. Asaman please join him at center stage? Andre Asaman is a distinguished professor of comparative literature at CUNY's Graduate Center. He received his BA in English and Comparative Literature from Lehman College in 1973. He received his PhD and MA in Comparative Literature from Harvard University. Before joining the CUNY Graduate Center, he taught at Princeton University and Bard College. He is a specialist of 17th century English, French, and Italian literature. Dr. Asaman is the author of 4 novels, including Call Me By Your Name, which was adapted into an Academy Award-winning film. He is the author of the memoir Out of Egypt and of 2 collections of essays, False Papers, Essays on Exile and Memory, and Alibis, Essays on Elsewhere. Dr. Asaman is the recipient of the Whiting Writers Award, a Guggenheim Fellowship, and a fellowship from the New York Public Library's Coleman Center for Scholars and Writers. His work has appeared in the New York Times, the New Yorker, the New York Review of Books, the New Republic, the Paris Review, Granta, as well as in many volumes of the Best American Essays. Congratulations, Dr. Asaman, on receiving the 2018 Alumni Achievement Award. We are very pleased that Dr. Asaman will deliver the commencement address. Please welcome again Dr. Andre Asaman, distinguished writer, scholar, and novelist.
Good morning. I would like to thank President Cruz, President Emeritus Fernandez, the CUNY trustees, deans, and members of the faculty and of the administration of Lehman College for inviting me to speak and for conferring upon me such an honor. And for the class of 2018, congratulations and welcome to what I hope will be a great and outstanding new chapter in your lives. As I stand before all of you this morning, and there's many of you, I feel 4 emotions that are so combined and fused together that I can't tell them apart. I feel honored because of the recognition that Lehman has extended me today. I feel gratitude because without Lehman, God only knows where I'd be, who I'd be, what kind of person I'd have become, what work I'd be doing. And I feel pride as well because this college still wants me back and against my better judgment is desperately trying to make me think that I'm a hotshot. And finally, I feel quite emotional because, well, this place here, half a century ago, was my home. I was a kid back then, and I'm clearly no kid today, but the grounds around me don't seem to know the difference, which for a few seconds each time I take a look, they almost succeed in making me believe that the difference between who I was in 1968 and who I am today in 2018 is really negligible. I'd like to think that despite all manner of changes in my life, I am still the same kid. Humble, shy, I still blush when I see somebody beautiful, and I'm insecure, easy to please, and thoroughly convinced that everyone is right except me. One thing I know hasn't changed. I was always eager to embrace America, despite its fault, and there are quite a few, despite its current president, who has far too many. Like many of you who are either the first or second generation in America, I arrived to this country as an immigrant and was the first in my family to attend a college. Mine is the narrative of every immigrant who attends college. You work hard, you don't ask too many questions, you may not even have time for that great college experience you see in films. And if you're anything like me, you probably hold 2 part-time jobs, sometimes even 3. You put up with everyone and everything. Complaining is a luxury you can't afford. Drinking is another you can't afford either. You just want to get ahead regardless of the difficulties and some humiliations along the way. Because after all, you are a foreigner, you're displaced, you're homesick, and often so totally adrift in the world today. And by the way, why couldn't I have that great college experience? Because I was living with my parents, who were already aging and needed to be taken care of. I applied to all CUNY colleges as a refugee living in Italy, but every college in CUNY, except for Lehman, turned me down. So Lehman it was. Immigrants are never fussy. I still remember the first orientation day. It was very late one afternoon in winter, after I'd done my rounds of the departments to sign up for courses. I walked out when it was already dark, and as I headed to the Jerome Avenue train, which you can still hear, I remember staring back at the snowed landscape and catching the beaming, welcoming lights of the library. This was America, and I was in heaven. From that evening on, my migraine headaches, which I've had since I was a kid, went away. Lehman changed my life. I wasn't happy as a business major and wanted to change to an English major. Anything you say, they said. But then I wasn't happy being an English major either and wanted to be in comparative literature. No problem, said Lehman. Lehman, unlike any other institution in the universe, simply went ahead and created a comparative literature department for me. Well, you don't get this anywhere else. I adored my teacher, Professor Gary Schwartz, who is here today. Professor Louis Losada, with whom I'm having lunch when he comes back from California in a few weeks. Professor Joseph Tuziani, whom I decided to imitate or emulate, because he was not only a great scholar, but he was also a great poet and a great writer. The list of people whose names I still remember is endless, but one I would like to mention, his name was Professor Ivas, who is no longer with us, was the first person in my life ever to tell me I was worth something. And I think he even meant it. I was nursed, thank you. I was nursed, coddled, and cradled here. When it came time to apply to graduate school, I considered law. But I was never going to become a lawyer. I applied to graduate programs in comparative literature, and I went to Harvard, which was a good thing. I also did what I'd also always dreamed of doing. Ever since I came to Lehman College, I wanted to be a writer. The itinerary of my journey may be different from yours in its smaller details, but overall the trajectory is identical. We took everything that Lehman had to offer. We worked hard with many, many sacrifices along the way, got our degrees, and eagerly embraced our careers, our professions, and our new lives. This, in the end, is what a college degree is, an invitation to a new life. It's that second chance our parents never really got, but paid dearly to make sure it was ours to have. And so I wish you every success in life. This is the first step, but if you come this far, you have every right to expect to take the next successful step, and the one after that, and the one after that one as well. One last word. Don't forget your teachers and mentors. Send them a postcard or an email. They do care, you know. And don't ever, ever forget Lehman. It is, after all, as it is still for me, our very first home away from home. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Asselman. At this time, one of my favorite parts of commencement is to recognize teaching excellence. I have the honor of recognizing two members of our distinguished family. I invite President Cruz back to the podium to join me. First, we recognize a full-time faculty member who has been chosen by a selection committee of faculty and students as Teacher of the Year. I think you're going to recognize this gentleman. Will Professor Joseph Farah, our Master of Ceremonies, please come to center stage. Assistant Professor Joseph Farah has taught in the math department of Lehman College since 2011. Since fall of 2014, he served as the deputy chair of his department and is an active member of the department's Education Policy Committee. He's a key member of the college-wide academic momentum planning team and is our coordinator of the redesign of Lehman's Gateway math courses. He teaches a wide variety of math courses and is consistently ranked as outstanding by his students. Our congratulations to Professor Farah on being named Teacher of the Year. It is again a great honor for me to recognize an adjunct faculty member who has been chosen by a selection committee as Adjunct Teacher of the Year. Will Professor Kenneth Piccinini please come to center stage? Kenneth Piccinini began, I know, Kenneth Piccinini began his career at Lehman College as an adjunct lecturer in 1998 in the Department of Counseling, Leadership, Literacy, and Special Education. He works with students in the dual master's childhood and special ed program. He's distinguished himself for his outstanding teaching ability, expertise, and command of his area of study, and for encouraging passion, as you can see, passion for learning in his students. Our congratulations to Professor Piccinini on being named Adjunct Teacher of the Year. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to celebrate the lives of members of the Lehman College community who passed away during this academic year. Professor Young Kun Kim, a beloved member of our Department of Political Science, died as a result of a random act of violence. He led a life of exemplary scholarship and commitment to peace. His 50-year career at Lehman spanned the life of the college. His expertise in political thought was unparalleled, and his kindness was renowned beyond the campus. I'm pleased to announce that the faculty of the Department of Political Science has established the Professor Young-Kun Kim Memorial Award for Excellence in Political Theory and Comparative Politics. Thank you. For graduating students in political science in honor of a most exceptional scholar and humanitarian. And earlier today, President Cruz conferred a posthumous Bachelor of Arts degree to George Joel Dumais. Georgie was an outstanding student, majoring in Latin American and Caribbean studies. He distinguished himself as a scholar and researcher who completed his Lehman Scholastic Honors Thesis with distinction. The faculty, staff, and students of the Department of Latin American and Latino Studies petitioned that Georgie receive a posthumous degree. This request was supported by the Provost, the Committee on Admissions, Evaluation, and Academic Standards, and finally, by the Lehman College Senate. Georgie's aunt, Maria Santiago de Rivera, accepted the degree from President Cruz earlier today. The Department of Latin American and Latino Studies created an award in Georgie's memory, as well as a study abroad fund. And now, we ask for a moment of silence to honor all members of our community who passed away. Thank you. And now, Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor to present the more than 3,400 candidates who have qualified for degrees and advanced certificates from Herbert H. Lehman College. We will present candidates according to their academic school: arts and humanities, education, continuing and professional studies, natural and social sciences, and health sciences, human services, and nursing. I can always depend on the nurses. Each of our 5 deans will present the candidates from their schools. First, may I ask Associate Dean Salita Bryant of the School of Arts and Humanities to present candidates within this school.
Good morning, candidates. Thank you, Provost Fain. I'm pleased to present the candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees in the School of Arts and Humanities. Please rise to be recognized when you hear the name of your department and remain standing. African and African American Studies. Art. The Art Department. English. History Department. Journalism and Media Studies. There you go. Languages and Literatures. Latin American, Latino, and Puerto Rican Studies. Music, Multimedia, Theater, and Dance. Philosophy. Provost Fain, may I present the candidates for degrees in the School of Arts and Humanities. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Thank you, Associate Dean Bryant. Would Dean Deborah Shanley present the candidates for degrees and advanced certificates in the School of Education?
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for degrees and certifications in the School of Education. Please rise at the name of your department and remain standing. Counseling, leadership, leadership, literacy, and special education. Early childhood and childhood education. Middle and high school education. Professor Fain, I present the candidates for degrees and certifications in the School of Education. Congratulations to all. Please be seated.
Thank you, Dean Shanley. Clearly, the rain is not dampening our enthusiasm today. At this time, may Jane McKillop present the candidates within the School of Continuing and Professional Studies.
Thank you, Provost Fain. I'm honored today to present the candidates from the Adult Degree Program in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Will the candidates for the Masters of Arts in Liberal Studies please rise? Will the candidates for the Bachelors in Self-Determined Studies and candidates for the CUNY Baccalaureate please rise? Will all 156 adult degree program students please rise? Provost Fain, I present the candidates for degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Congratulations. You may be seated.
At this time, may Dean Gautam Sen present the candidates for degrees within the School of Natural and Social Sciences.
Thank you. It is my honor to present the candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees in the School of Natural and Social Sciences. Please rise as you hear the name of your department and remain standing. Anthropology, biological sciences, chemistry, computer science, here comes the big one, economics and business, earth, environment, and geospatial sciences, mathematics, physics and astronomy, political science, psychology, here's another big one coming, and sociology. Provost Fain, that concludes the presentation of all candidates for degrees in the School of Natural and Social Sciences. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Thank you, Dean Sen. At this time, may Associate Dean Mark Tausig present the candidates for degrees within the School of Health Sciences, Human Services, and Nursing.
The last school named today, but probably not the least noisy.
No.
It is my honor to present the candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees and certifications in the School of Health Sciences, Human Services, and Nursing. Please rise as you hear the name of your department and remain standing. Health Sciences. Nursing. Social work. Speech, language, and hearing sciences. Provost Fain, that concludes the presentation of all candidates for degrees and certifications in the School of Health Sciences, Human Services, and Nursing. Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated.
Thank you, Associate Dean Tausig. At this time, I now invite your attention and applause for those students who are graduating with honors and special distinctions today. Will everyone who is a member of an honor society or a recipient of departmental honors, recipient of scholarships, prizes, and awards, please rise. You can stay standing. You can be joined by all students who are veterans. Please rise. Will all members of the staff of Lehman College who are graduating today, please rise. Will all students who are the first in their families to graduate from college, please rise. Now, may all degree recipients please rise. President Cruz, we have now presented all candidates for bachelor's and master's degrees, as well as certificates and advanced certificates from Herbert H. Lehman College. Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business Administration, Master of Arts, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Science, Master of Science in Education, Master in Social Work, and certificates and advanced certificates.
In pursuance of the authority vested in me by law, on the recommendation of the faculty, and in accordance with the action of the trustees of the City University of New York, I now confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended. My congratulations to all bachelor's, master's, certificate, and advanced certificate graduates. I now invite all undergraduates to turn your tassels to the left. Congratulations again to the class of 2018.
Thank you, President Cruz. Before officially closing, I would just like to ask our graduating class to help me in thanking two very special groups of people. The first, my colleagues in the faculty. Faculty, if you don't mind standing so that the graduates can recognize your hard work, dedication, and help throughout all their years of study. Thank you very much. And last but not least, graduates, please take a minute to thank your friends, your families, your loved ones, all the people standing on the sidelines. They've been there the whole time cheering you on. Ladies and gentlemen, that closes Lehman's commencement ceremony for 2018, the 50th commencement. Let me thank everyone who helped to make this ceremony successful and thank all of you for attending. May each of you enjoy every single moment of this day. I ask you to please rise again, you already are, for the alma mater sung by Johanna Gracia Lara from the Lehman College class of 2020. I ask that you please remain standing as Rabbi Shriner Khan closes our ceremony with a moment of reflection and continue to stand until the academic procession has left the field. Let me just say thank you very much for letting me do this. Congratulations to all of you and enjoy this day.
Many times this morning that you are awesome, but you are more than awesome. You are so much more than awesome. You are exactly who and what we need in our world today. Not to put a burden on you, but look at you. It's raining a little bit, but Lehman College stands strong. A little bit of rain isn't going to take anything away from you. So I invite you to take that strength that you have at this moment and carry it with you. I invite you to find partners in the work that you're about to engage in. I invite you to bring your best selves forward and lead the way. And as I said earlier, may you always be a blessing.